first career win and first start was against these Cardinals.
And his first two hitters are the guys that have done most of the damage for the Cardinals. That's a good sign. One pitch, pop up. Bonifacio makes the catch. Here's the Marlins defense.
Yeah, that's a great sign. One pitch, a quick pitch. How about that? Here's the defense. Chris Coughlin, Cody Ross, and Hermida in the outfield. Wes Helms and Bonifacio on the left side. Uggla and Ross Gload starting at first base. Ronnie Paulino behind the plate.
Well, you want quick pitch. Andrew Miller threw that pitch, and his defense was still getting back into their positions after that last play. It shows you the type of pace that Miller wants to work at in this ball game. That missed someplace, according to Charlie Relaford. And it's 1-1 to Rick Ankiel, who's been dynamite in this series. 5 for 8, a homer and 4 RBIs. Last night, Ankiel was a single shy of a cycle. Not often do you see a guy miss a cycle and not have the single.
He basically just ran out of time because his last 3 hits, a double, triple, and a home run. And they need him. He spent some time on the disabled list. He was involved in a collision and went on the DL. Just starting to get back in a groove now, and he's had good swings in this series.
Last night he hit a bomb here. He had a triple double, then in the 9th. Split towel. That was off the hopper. 3-2.
Yeah, he is locked in.
He just is hammering the ball. There, see, there's the single he would have had.
Yeah, he just ran out of time last night. Yeah, he's had 2 doubles, a couple of singles, a triple.
And that's all in his last 4 at-bats. His last 4 at-bats have been triple, double, homer, and single.
Well, he knew he was going to get a fastball. He waited for it, and just a terrific swing. And the amazing thing, you talked about it, Rich, there are some hitters that have had good series against the Marlins, but the guy stepping in, Albert Pujols, has not.
No, you're right. The best contact that Pujols has made was with John Baker's helmet. Baker, by the way, feeling better and available to pinch hit. Paulino getting the start. See the numbers. 18 homers, 51 RBIs. And of course, the base hit that he had the other night snapped an 0 for 15, proving that he is not a machine.
Well, yeah, he's just 1 for his last 19.
But he's liable to hit a ball 500 feet if Miller sends one up there right down the middle. That's a good pitch right at the knees. Saw Pujols react. When Miller gets on top of the ball, that fastball has a lot of movement to it.
Boy, that's nice.
Ankiel's at first. Miller comes to the plate, and Pujols goes down. Almost a quick pitch there. He came set just briefly.
And when he gets ahead, it is so hard for hitters to lay off that breaking ball. Fastball, strike 1. There's that great strike 2, and then watch the breaking ball. Even Albert Pujols had trouble with that breaking ball because the count was 0-2.
Here's a guy that the Cardinals really need to get going, and that's Ryan Ludwig. He smacks one into right center field. That's a base hit. Ankiel's going to get to third. Ross up with the ball. And the Cardinals have runners at the corners. Ludwig, who had the terrific year last year, an all-star year, is at first base. Our weather, hot, sunny, and brought to you by Miccosukee. Come play our way.
You know, Rich, the thing about Ludwig, he had actually gotten off to a pretty good start. Then he went on the disabled list. And since he's come back from the DL, he can't find that stroke again. But a couple of hits his last 2 ABs, though.
Yeah, 2 weeks off with a hamstring injury. Here is Stavanoa, who gets a start. He's a Houston kid who ended up at LSU. And it's a high pop that's going to be out of play.
Yeah, Stavanoa was up and down 3 different times last year, so he got a taste of Cardinal baseball a little bit. always a good minor league hitter.
Cardinals system always seems to be thick with guys like that. Guys like a Stavanoa or a Brian Barden.
They also have a lineup today with a lot of interchangeable parts with Barden and Ryan and Tyler Green, guys who can play all over.
That ball smacked foul. Thursday afternoon, not a bad crowd coming in for the Cardinals and the Marlins, braving the 90-degree temperature, the high humidity. This is a ballpark that is very unforgiving in weather. There is no shade from sun. There is no cover from rain. Line drive, base hit, left field. Cards are on the board first. And Stavanoa, who turns on a Miller fastball. So once again, it's not Pujols who's involved. It's everybody else hurting the fish.
Well, he turns on this fastball. Stavanoa has just proven to everybody that he can get to that fastball. Good pitch. And all of a sudden, with the good stuff that Andrew Miller has here in this first inning, he's given up 3 hits and a run.
Tyler Green now. Green, the kid from Plantation, St. Thomas Aquinas. Nice article in the Sun Sentinel from Mike Berardino about the injury that Green had in the minor leagues, dislocating a knee on a swing when he was in Double-A. Late call by Relaford and a strike. Green, of course, would go on from South Florida to play at Georgia Tech. Was an All-American, the captain of the Yellow Jackets, and the Cardinals' first-round pick. So they're expecting big things out of him. And so far, they're getting a nice performance. That's a foul ball, not by much. He's a good-looking hitter.
Yeah, he is, and keep in mind last night he was at third base. The night before he started at third base, and in this ball game today he's the starting shortstop. His natural position. He has, I believe, 4 starts now in the big leagues at third. That would be Ludwig and Mr. Stavanoa. Remember, Miller got it out with his first pitch. This is his 19th of the inning. I think he went. No, boy, he didn't. Larry Vanover down there at first. Again, Miller trying to get a Cardinal hitter after he's gotten ahead to chase that sharp breaking ball. The one pitch we haven't seen in this inning, we haven't seen his changeup. 2-2. Another breaker. Nice job by Paulino. But that sets up a full count, 2-out situation. Andrew's last 4 starts, 2 earned runs in each. And he's 2-1 over those starts. He beat the Giants his last time out. Trying to beat the Cardinals here this afternoon. The 3-2 with the runners on the move. Gorgeous pitch. Breaking ball. Snapped it off. Dropped it in. Cardinals get a run. Marlins go to work. 1-0. St. Louis.
Coughlin leads it off. Emilio Bonifacio is going to play short, and Wes Helms is at third, hitting third. Jeremy Hermida, a hot bat, slides to the cleanup spot for the first time this year. Dan Uggla, Ross Gload, Cody Ross, Ronnie Paulino, and Andrew Miller.
There's a look at Todd Wellemeyer, 30-year-old veteran who all of a sudden has become an established starting pitcher, pitching for Tony La Russa, Dave Duncan, and the Cardinals.
Wellemeyer with those broad shoulders. Deals to Coughlin and misses down low.
Last year, a 13-game winner for St. Louis.
5-game hit streak for Coughlin. His average up to 237. Solid at bats. And he went after a fastball that was up and in. LaRue wanders over. See LaRue wearing the hockey-type mask, the goalie mask. Rocking the shades there as well.
Veteran catcher, long time with the Cincinnati Reds.
He's a guy that we were talking about, the backup catcher for the Brewers. I believe it's Mike Rivera backing up Kendall. When you're backing up Yadier Molina, you don't see a lot of time either. There's a strike. Wellemeyer with a count 1-2.
Or if you're Eli Whiteside.
That's right, the Giants.
The Giants.
Behind Iron Man Benji Molina. So this is a no Molina day here. The 1-2. It's down low.
That's a
Wellemeyer
pitch.
with a changeup.
Yeah, that's a pitch that's a good one for him. He likes to use his changeup.
You know, he was a Marlin for 18 appearances in 2006. And sometimes there are guys like Wellemeyer who bounce around and all of a sudden find either the right pitching coach or just the right situation. He was drafted originally by the Cubs in the 4th round in 2000 and spent parts of 3 years with the Cubs. Marlins got a hold of him for 16 games. He had an ERA of 5.5. And then he spent parts of 2 seasons with the Royals. After the Royals claimed him off waivers, and, you know, wasn't really spectacular there. Then the Cardinals took a liking to him.
Yeah, his changeup's a little bit like a split. It'll dive downward. A few slow curveballs once in a while. And you mentioned those 18 games as a Marlin in 06. All out of the bullpen.
Coughlin drives that one to left. Stavanoa comes in and makes the catch.
Well, get ready for this defense now, because the Cardinals have a lot of different defensive alignments in this game. Stavanoa, Ankiel, and Ludwig. Barden's at third. Tyler Green's at short. Ryan and Pujols, and then Jason LaRue behind the plate. So just about everybody's in a different spot except for Pujols in this game this afternoon.
Here's Bonifacio. Emilio Bonifacio, 3 for 7 in this series, 8 hits on the homestand. You know it's bright when the catcher and the hitter are both wearing shades. One-0 pitch. Wellemeyer misses down low. Charlie Relaford has got sunglasses on as well.
So it is a bright afternoon.
There's a strike. Yeah, it's 2-1. Of course, the lens is now so sophisticated that they can actually improve your vision in daylight. Bonifacio drives that to center. Ankiel ambles over and makes the catch. Marlins have hit 2 balls pretty well against Wellemeyer. And here comes Wes Helms. Marlins headed to Toronto to take on the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays last night were rained out in Texas, and so there was some thought that that might scramble the rotation, but Cito Gaston is going to skip Scott Richmond, their number 5 starter. Ricky Romero starts today, and it will still be a Ricky Nolasco start against Roy Halladay.
Yeah, no doubleheader. in Texas.
No, they're going to make that game up in September.
Yeah, so Toronto and Texas playing just the one game with Romero, who was scheduled to pitch last night, going again tonight.
It's one of the differences in scheduling from the American League to the National League. For instance, the Marlins and the Cardinals here, there's Ricky. Stay hot. You get Lincecum your first time back, and then Halladay next start. National League, outside of your division, you will play each team once. Cardinals here for a series. Marlins will go to St. Louis. But in the American League, you will play teams outside your division 3 times. In opposing years, one year you'll go there twice and have a home series. Next year you'll get 2 home series and go there once.
So the Marlins and Freddie will get to experiment a little bit with that designated hitter for the next week of games in Toronto and Boston.
And it's an opportunity to give not a whole day off, but for a guy like Hanley Ramirez, let him DH so he doesn't have to go out on the AstroTurf and play a whole game. That one fouled back. Maybe a guy like Jorge Cantu. Cantu, by the way, is not in the lineup and left because of dizziness. And the dizziness is because of a medication that he's been taking, a high cholesterol medication. And it has made him over the last week very weak, lethargic, and dizzy. And he said he took himself out of the game yesterday because he didn't, A, want to hurt himself, or B, hurt his team. He has stopped taking that medication. It may take a day or 2 to clear his system.
And we know how hard Jorge Cantu plays this game, and for him to take himself out of the game, you know he's not feeling 100%.
This is a prototypical Wes Helms at bat.
You know, you look at Wes's average. I mean, overall, he's hitting .222. They've done a great job pinch hitting, 7 for 19. But you would think that his average would be higher, but he's had some games where he started and he just hasn't gotten one of those games where he's had a 2-3 hit game. But he always gives you this kind of at bat.
This is a great stat. Pitches per plate appearance. Helms above the league average. And he's already seen 8 pitches from Wellemeyer. Three-two. How about another one? Got to stay cool. There's not a lot of shade in either bullpen. You got the little lean-tos that I think seniority is the rule in both bullpens. The more senior the reliever, the better seat he gets in the shade. Helms puts that one in play up in the air. Ludwig is out there, and he makes the catch. 1-0 Cards. Gorgeous day, hot day, actually. 1-0 Cardinals on top of the Marlins, top of the second. Andrew Miller to work. Jason LaRue fouls a pitch back.
You can see the game plan of the St. Louis Cardinals right off the bat. Now, you want Andrew Miller to get ahead and throw that first pitch fastball strike. A lot of Cardinal hitters are jumping and swinging at that first pitch fastball strike.
Big breaking ball misses outside to the veteran LaRue, 35 years old. 61 games last year with the Cardinals. Spent the majority of his big league years with the Reds.
There's the changeup. That'll keep him thinking about that fastball so much. Good arm action. LaRue thinks he's getting a fastball, and he got the changeup.
1-2. That one sent down into the bullpen. Some late night heroics last night in the Phillies-Mets game. Chase Utley homering in the 11th. And Ryan Madsen, with Brad Lidge on the disabled list, came in to get the save as the Phillies beat the Mets 5-4.
Yeah, Utley's home run, his second of the game, too.
No swing. You know who's hot right now and is a better team than their record, and everyone says they should trade all their players? It's Colorado. They beat Milwaukee in Milwaukee 4-2 last night.
Ever since Jim Tracy took over.
To first, Gload will step on the bag. LaRue is out. Brings up the 8th spot, which is the pitcher for St. Louis. Are you looking for a special group event? Save money, provide them with an unforgettable experience at a Marlins game. 305-626-SAVE and ask about upcoming special events in June, including Ladies Night Out, Scout Night, CPA Night, and all-you-can-eat seats, and more. Marlins Baseball, it's where you want to be.
Frank Fort, a big hit the other night at Ladies Night Out.
I'm thinking we should have CPA Night in early April, though.
Yeah, just before April 15th.
Wellemeyer, a swing and a miss. Quickly, it's 0-2. Yeah, the Rockies have won 7 in a row. And I know they're buried behind the Dodgers, but you know, teams like that also have to think about, well, where is everybody in the wild card? And the wild card leader, if you were to stop the dance at this point, would be the Mets at 31-26. The Giants are right there at 31-27. Reds are 31-27. Cards are 32-28. So everybody kind of measures at this point, well, how far are you behind your division leader? But you have to remind yourself, it's not necessarily what you're shooting for. You're shooting for the postseason, and you're shooting for being in a position in July to make a run.
Well, you mentioned it last night, the Cardinals' record and where they were as a wild card team the year they won the World Series.
Yeah, 83 wins.
83 wins.
83 and 78 in 2006.
So you'll hear managers all around baseball say, just try to get to the postseason. No matter how. If you get there, you have a chance.
Yeah, the Giants beat Arizona again last night, and Barry Zito gets another win. Benji Molina homer. Smacked to third. Helms makes a nice play. And Andrew Miller works a nice and tidy second inning. Jeremy Hermida, first time this year in the cleanup spot. He'll lead it off. 1-0 Cardinals. Mets and Yankees. 4 Eastern, 3 Central. Fox Saturday Baseball returns this weekend. This weekend we'll be in Toronto. Night game tomorrow night. And it's going to be a special night. Get to see Roy Halladay. See if Ricky Nolasco can continue to throw the ball well.
I know a lot of the Marlins, it'll be their first visit to the Rogers Center.
We'll look for the Tommy Hutton exhibit at what used to be Sky Dome. Were you like Robbie Alomar? Did you have a place in the hotel out in center field where you
No,
lived?
I didn't have a permanent residence in the Sky Dome Hotel.
Many of the old Blue Jay players did that when that place first opened.
You could roll out of bed, go out your door, go down the lobby, walk down the hall, and you'd be in the clubhouse pretty soon.
I filled in on Blue Jay games in 2000, and when I stayed there, I would stay in that hotel. It was really odd because you open the drapes, and there you are looking at the field.
And that is Rogers Center, C-E-N-T-R-E.
Here's the 1-2 to Hermida. And Jeremy hits a high pop-up. Pujols, fighting the sun, makes the play. Road trip. Roy Halladay, Vernon Wells, Lyle Overbay. Jays are good this year. Then it's on to Boston, who seemingly have an abundance of great arms in the rotation. John Smoltz, it sounds like, may get the start on Tuesday when the Marlins are there.
Yeah, an abundance of great arms, and they're going to get another one. Mike Lowell homered last night for the Red Sox against the Yankees. Red Sox are 7-0 against the Yankees this year.
What will they do with that rotation? How will they make room for Smoltz? Will they?
We'll have to check with Terry Francona
will
on
they
that one.
Pull the trigger on a Brad Penny trade? It's a great problem to have for that organization, that's for sure. Ugla, 8 hits on the homestand, including a couple of homers against Wellemeyer, who bends one up there, and it's 2-1. Wellemeyer last year faced the Marlins twice, and he dominated them. 2-0, a 1.72 ERA.
He mixes things up well. You've seen the changeup, fastball, some sliders. Generally pretty good control, but his numbers don't show that this year. 30 walks in his 69 and a third innings. The thing about Wellemeyer, you talked about how he kind of bounced around, worked out of bullpens. Yet when he was coming up in the Cubs organization, he was the starting pitcher for the most part in the minor leagues.
I like the explanation last year that Dave Duncan gave us for Wellemeyer's turnaround and his success. He was 13-9 last year. Ugla into center field, a base hit. And Duncan has had that experience, Tommy, with reclamation projects, turning guys around, whether it's a Kyle Loesch now or a Wellemeyer on his staff. And he told us, find the thing that the pitcher does best and emphasize that and then work from there. Don't try to make him something he's not.
And that's what he's done. You can go back to a Kent Bottenfield, who he turned around from a relief pitcher to an 18-game winner.
Ross Gload getting the start at first base.
And I think you have to also, and I'm sure Dave Duncan would tell us this, you have to get that pitcher at the right time of his career. He has to buy into that. If he's not going to buy into it, then it isn't going to work.
Joel Pinheiro, Ryan Franklin, 2 other guys that kind of showed up on the doorstep here in St. Louis that he has helped. Ross Gload turns on that one to right field, and deep, that ball's gone! Wow! Way out of here. And just like that, the Marlins are on top. Gload turning on one, his second homer of the season.
What a nice addition Ross Gload has been. You put him up there to pinch hit. Good AB. You spot start him. He gives you good ABs. A mistake by Wellemeyer, and Ross Gload unloaded. Middle in, he drops ahead on it and hit it halfway into that section in right field. That's up where Jeremy Hermida hit the ball the other night.
That is close to a blue seater, and I don't think we've ever seen a blue seater in right field, have we?
I have not.
That was about 5-6 rows shy of that. Cody Ross now. There are the blue seats.
Yeah, it's a long way up here. But sometimes when you get the ball in the right spot, you get the right timing, and you just drop the head of the bat. It looks so easy. And it goes so far. And it's oh so good of a feeling.
Ross fouls it back to the screen. This is one of the ballparks that no longer does home run distance. And we miss that, not only for just for the information, but for the controversy and conversation value that it provides.
Always looking for something to get me on the edge.
Right. Well, yeah, that's all part of the fun, is getting Tommy riled up. If you were to call the distance on that one, would you go 440, 430?
I'd go in the 430 range at least.
Ross pulls it, and it's 2-2. Why is that? Did some stadiums not renew their contract with the home run engineer or something like that? Ross, line drive, left center. That drops in. Stamanoa over to pick it up.
Boy, how about the swings this inning from Dan Uggla, Ross Gload, and Cody Ross. A little slider down and away. That's a pretty good pitch by Wellemeyer. He's probably saying to himself, how did he hit that ball so well?
When we're in Washington, we'll have to ask David Vincent, who is the home run guru, who knows all things home runs.
You know, the other thing about Ross Gload's home run, it's not that he's a prolific long ball hitter. That's his 24th career home run.
Paulino, sharp grounder to short. Green. Did you see the slide by Cody?
Had to.
Self-preservation. Cody had to pull the chute about 20 feet from second. Well, Ross Gload goes deep, and the Fish are up 2-1. as the Marlins are on top 2-1 in the top of the third. Now, if you're in South Florida, anywhere in Florida, you may have heard these two guys, Paul and Young Ron, the Paul and Young Ron show. Paul, you're not so young, but you're Ron.
They're making fun of me, buddy, okay? I mean, it's like calling a fat guy skinny.
Why you got to say fat guy? Hey, Rich,
yes.
When you introduce us, can you do that cool thing you do? Paul, Ron, radio, guys.
I love it when you do that.
So good.
I love this broken English.
I don't think the fans realize you guys don't wear pants in here.
Well, we did dress up just for this occasion.
And I wonder what that smell is.
That's pine tar.
Oh, okay. If you say so.
Now, you guys have been at the ballpark all morning, right? And it was kind of your day. You got to arrange the national anthem singer. You threw out the first pitch.
Don't blame us for
recognizing
don't blame us for her.
I would not call that throwing out the first pitch.
No, that's called bouncing in the. Actually, he didn't even. Wasn't even close. How would you have called that, Rich? Far and away.
Hey, let me put it this way. Regis was closer to the plate than you were.
He says he did it on purpose so I'd have someone to mock.
Have you ever had sudden joint pain, sir? I'm going to have to get a shot of cortisone in my shoulder when I leave here. I'm not kidding.
I believe you threw your hip out midway through the throw.
Now, last night, one of the top supermodels in all the world was here. She threw out the first pitch. She got a private tutorial from Dan Uglow. Did you get that?
I don't know what. No.
He doesn't know who Dan Ugla is.
No, I know who Dan Ugla is.
Now watch this throw.
This.
All right.
Oh, looky here.
We might be able to compare the two throws.
I like that camera.
Well, I can
angle
tell you
on
right
that.
now, I didn't get that.
Here's the pitch. The lanky right-hander.
Yeah,
see?
one hopper, but it was catchable.
Not as easy as it looks, ladies and gentlemen.
Brendan Ryan out to center field. Ross makes the catch. Now, here's your first pitch
Oh, this is beautiful.
as a comparison.
I don't know if we need to see this
I think
again.
we absolutely need to see it.
Wow.
I actually think if Billy had moved a little quicker, he might have caught it. But
The sun was in my eyes, too.
Fans come out this weekend. It's free rosin bag night at the ballpark. Everybody gets a commemorative Dan Ugla rosin bag.
hey, tell our viewers what the station did for this nice crowd.
What we did was they heard me mocking announcers on the radio. I was doing the lineups in my mock announcer voice, and Sean Flynn with the Marlins called up and said, "Hey, why don't you come out and do this at the ballpark someday?" And I said, "Why don't you do me a favor and knock the ticket prices down to $10, and we'll bring some fans out for it was a 12:05 game." And he said, "Let's do it." And we got about 5,000, which is a real good number on a hot day.
That's nice.
So I'm sure you guys have fun mocking us. Can you do us? Is that a?
No, they do the lineups really good. They do the lineups.
It was very, very
Here we
funny.
go. Here's the pitch, high and outside, ball one. Oh, we haven't had the pitch yet. Well, forget it. Tommy, you got Rich. You guys are two of the greatest in the business. We have a lot of fun. We appreciate letting us mess around with you a little bit. But yeah,
No, we listen to the show. I can't listen in the morning because I usually have kids in the car. But after I drop them off, then
Let
I
them
fire
listen.
it up.
Would
Let
you
them
mo-
listen. You know they want to.
would you guys mind if we had to reach into your cooler and got a couple of Bartles and James ourselves?
Absolutely.
I didn't know they had wine
They
coolers.
still make that stuff, huh?
You guys don't kid anybody. These guys are half in the bag midway through the broadcast.
It's very nice and brave of you to have us here in the booth with you.
Yes. Tommy's more of a Boone's Farm apple ripple guy. Here's the 2-2. It's in the dirt.
You see how we did that? You're
I know.
mid-sentence.
It was a throwaway.
I would like to
love
say
it.
happy anniversary to Betty and John Johnson, who came down here celebrating their 82nd anniversary today from Lantana. You guys do that stuff. You slide it right in. It's beautiful.
We try.
You had the good Emilio Bonifacio.
I kept the O going for like an hour and a half.
Swing and
Look at
miss.
this. There you go, Ron. The last time Ron Brewer was at a ball game, and this is true, shoeless Joe Jackson was a ball boy.
Who is that?
Forget it. It's funny. I'm excited to be out here today, and yet it's so hot. I can't wait for that dome in the new stadium. That's going to
Yeah.
be so cool.
There's Albert Pujols. Well, that's the thing. We said there's no shade from the sun. There's no cover from the rain. And in 2012, all those things will be fixed. Air conditioning.
I was a season ticket holder for the first 9 years. And then my wife said, "Oh, you can't afford it anymore." No, but I mean, it was, now I get free tickets. I'm a big shot. So, but I mean, it's a pleasure and it's a great time to come out to the ball game. It really is. You forget sometimes. Oh,
Line drive.
Ugla got to make that play.
beautiful.
All right, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for bringing out all the fans.
Have a good day.
Thanks, Tommy.
Enjoy your
All right.
broadcast.
And
Rich, you got to come on the show with us soon.
Anytime. Just give me a call.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, guys. Frankfurt.
All right, thanks very much, Rich. You mentioned the Marlins about to head out on the road after today. Starting interleague play up again with Toronto and Boston, Freddie Gonzalez indicated that he would DH a variety of guys. The one guy he really wishes he had is Alfredo Amezaga. Because of Alfredo's versatility, you could give a number of guys that half day off, just have them worry about those 4 at-bats. Unfortunately, Alfredo's not close to being ready. He's rehabbing in Jupiter right now, but he's not doing any baseball-related activities. Freddie Gonzalez saying today, that's the one guy he really wishes he had for interleague play, because he can fill in at so many different positions. It's a little bit easier to get guys like Hanley, Cantu, even a Cody Ross a day off from playing the field. Rich?
Andrew Miller slices one into left field. That's a base hit.
I tell you could just feel the energy after Paul and young Ron left the booth. There's energy here now. And energy in the swing of Andrew Miller, getting his 2nd hit of the year. And I'll tell you what, ever since that first inning, he has settled in on the mound and made some terrific pitches, too.
So a leadoff single here in the 3rd. Chris Coghlan, Emilio Bonifacio to follow. Yeah, missing Amezaga in interleague play. It's a great point, because you can plug him in every place.
You could give Hanley the day off, play Amezaga at short. You could give Ugla the day off and let him DH and play Amezaga at second.
Coghlan turns on one and fouls it off. Chris Coghlan lined out in the 1st. The Marlins had, in the 1st, good swings against Wellemeyer. They went down 1-2-3, but Coghlan lined out. Bonifacio lined out. Helms had that 10-pitch at bat, in which he sprayed line drives foul. And then in the 2nd, an Ugla single and a Ross Gload homer, with a Cody Ross single as well. Coghlan did not go. And it's 1-1.
Wellemeyer's actually pitched better this year on the road than in his home ballpark, St. Louis.
Speared by Ryan.
Wow. Boy, he was robbed. You talk about a ball absolutely scorched. This one would have found the gap in right center. But the second baseman, wherever you put Brendan Ryan, he made some good plays at short last night and comes up with that line drive.
He's a good player. I mean, you just in watching him, Cardinals are very high on him because of his versatility. He's a good shortstop. I know Khalil Green is not here, but it doesn't seem like they're missing a whole lot with Green out. Bonifacio takes a strike. He lined to center in the 1st. 3 for 8 in this series. Glad you're with us this afternoon. I know this is the only game going in the big leagues right now. Out to center, and Keel is there. And he makes the catch. 2 down, $250,000 Mustang money tickets are on sale. Register your non-winning tickets now through June 11th for a second chance to win great prizes that include a 2010 Ford Mustang V6 convertible, an ultimate Florida baseball weekend getaway, or $100 gas cards. Visit FLAlottery.com for details.
Yeah, there's some other day games about to start. About 6 or 7 day games today.
Prototypical getaway day in baseball. The Marlins getting away to Toronto will get in about 8 o'clock. Marlins will be landing in Toronto right about the time that Toronto faces the first pitch in Texas. They play a night game in Arlington.
Might be able to catch a little of that game on television or radio. Yeah, Pittsburgh's in Atlanta. They're about ready to go at it in about 15 minutes.
That's been a very entertaining series with the subplot of Nate McLeod,
yeah, with the
McCutchen being up. And
yeah, that has been.
Helms goes after a fastball. It's 0-1. Cubs are in Houston. That's an afternoon game. The Rockies try to make it 8 in a row in Milwaukee. They've got Aaron Cook on the mound, but they face Giovanni Gallardo. Helms drives that ball to right. Ludwig around it, and he makes the catch. Marlins leave a runner and lead it 2-1. Now, heavy metal thunder. The duck arrives. Cardinals' first retired jersey.
Well, they have so many, and they have a nice display at New Busch Stadium with all the retired numbers up there. Where's up in right center field, I believe. Boy, they have a lot of them.
They've had a lot of Busch stadiums too. There've been, I think, 3 Busch stadiums in St. Louis. No coincidence with Anheuser-Busch and Budweiser. Maybe this year we'll go pay a visit on the Clydesdales again. Paulino watches that one bounce.
I like it actually when Craig is down on the field on Marlins on deck and the Clydesdales are going by right at the same time.
Any parade, especially involving horses that weigh 2 or 3 tons or whatever they weigh. Ryan Ludwig, great story, Ludwig. A guy that has been in 6 different organizations, battled through injuries. And he swings and misses. Down goes Ludwig.
I'll tell you what, after the last base hit, the Stavinoa RBI single, 8 straight have been retired by Andrew Miller, and he's made good pitches. All of a sudden, he's mixed things up a little. In the second inning, he established the changeup, and he planted that seed in the mind of the Cardinal hitters. The breaking ball's still there, the fastball's still there, but it's not all one thing.
And here is said Stavinoa.
By the way, the Marlins do not go to St. Louis until September 14th.
Miller with a swing and a miss. That's odd because traditionally the Marlins go there when it's 3,000 degrees and right in the middle of summer. Kind of like this.
Yeah. By the way, that was that good changeup, that last pitch to Stavinoa.
Fastball that Stavinoa hits in the air to center field. Ross lost it in the sun. Now has to go back, and Cody makes the catch. Kind of Jim Edmonds-like.
Well, you have this happen once in a while. Oh, boy. But if you're Cody Ross and you don't panic and you have the ability, you stay with it. Look at Andrew Miller. The difference in being able to get that changeup over, you see different swings on the fastball now. You don't see as aggressive hitters getting out front because they know that the changeup is there.
And I think that's all part of the refined delivery, the makeover, if you will. At the end of last year, Miller approached Mark Wiley and said, look, I need to change my delivery. And they worked on it, added that changeup, and it's worked quite well, especially here this afternoon. 1, 2, 3, go the Cardinals. One 866-7 My Audi today, and by Quikrete for affordable home improvement projects. Visit Quikrete.com. Quikrete, it's what's America made of. Billy the Marlin in apparently a grudge match, and a little more to the story. Not just the mermaids, but some pie. Actually looks like cake. Jeremy Hermida got some pie the other night, right in the face. Brett Carroll, after Hermida's walk-off shot. Hermida pulls a ground ball, and that kicks off the glove of Ryan. And Hermida continues to swing a hot bat. A base hit, his 6th hit in this series.
6 for 11 series.
All right, let's summon the duck. Got to think a red Shane Dietz or a Stan Musial here.
Yeah, I might have to go with Stan the Man. Yeah, Stan the Man, number 6.
Now, if you watch Marlins live with Frank Fort today, you saw Legends of the Game. It's up for many awards now. The series starring Tommy Hutton, who goes back into history and looks at some of the legends.
And today's feature was the St. Louis Cardinals Stan Musial.
Just the artistic vision and production budget that went into the entire feature. An immense undertaking. A lot like Ken Burns in baseball.
I consider myself the luckiest man.
Welcome to Legends of the Game with Tommy Hutton.
Oh, that's awesome. The best part about that whole series, not only the Alistair Cook look and the music and all that, that's a hot shot off the glove of Barden, and Uggla's aboard. So the Marlins hit a couple of hard ground balls and get 2 hits off them.
Dan Uggla right now is saying, you know what, a few weeks ago that ball's caught. So maybe things are turning a little. He turns on that ball. A couple of nice swings from Uggs today. He's 2 for 2, and a hot shot that Barton can't handle.
And it's Ross Gload who homered in the second. One of the best things about that series, not only going back with the old footage of guys like Musial and Banks and many legends of the game, but you appear in each episode wearing a different sweater vest. Very subtle. You got to notice it. You got to look for it. Next time we have a Legends of the Game, but just watch, just to see the wardrobe change. See, look, there's one. That's you in the study, and there's you again. Nice. Gload's 2-run homer was back in the second. Runners first and second, nobody out. Wellemeyer working in the South Florida heat, and that time he got in on Gload. Ryan calls for it.
And it's really great that we keep showing that, because now I can write off my office at the house.
And your wardrobe, for that matter. Family Sunday the 21st. That's the end of the Yankees series. It's a 5:05 start. First 5,000 dads get a Marlins t-shirt courtesy of Metro PCS. And kids can run the bases in the Diamond Dash and play catch with Dad on the field after the game. Kids get to stay up late that night, apparently. 1-877-MARLINS, the number to call. There are some tickets left for that Yankee series. The Marlins expecting large crowds.
I am sure, because I've heard this rumor, that we're going to see crowds between 40 and 50,000 for those 3 games, and that will make this place fun.
That's one of the hard things about baseball in this facility. Even on a day like today, where there's probably, what, 15, 16,000 here? In a 70,000 seat expanse of a football stadium, it still lacks that feel of a ballpark. Tony Ross to center field and deep. Back goes Ankiel to the track, to the wall, makes the catch up against the wall. Everybody headed back to their base. Rick Ankiel, who was sent to the disabled list when he crashed into the wall a month ago, goes up against the wall 410 feet from center field, and there's 2 outs.
Boy, and Cody Ross knows that feeling, because he's done it to others. Straightaway center, hit it well. Ankiel, who's played right and center, times it, looks, leaps at just the right time. It probably wouldn't have gone out, but it would have hit the top of the wall. What a terrific athlete.
Paulino. Now there's 2 outs. And Wellemeyer's close to getting out of this inning.
There's somebody at home saying, you know, if Gload had bunted him over, that ball brings a run in. If Gload had bunted him over, they would have walked Cody Ross to set up a double play with Ronnie Paulino coming up.
Or pitched extremely carefully.
Yes.
And Ross would not have gotten that pitch.
Yes. I had to get that in.
Well, that's why you're here.
I got one other thing I have to get in, too.
All right, let's let this 1-0 pitch go. Go ahead.
Talking about that Yankee series.
Yep.
The weather, whatever we have that weekend, is not, let me preface, is not going to affect Yankee fans from coming out. So I encourage Marlins fans to also come out so the home club gets as much support.
Here's the 2-0. And Paulino swings and misses. And it's 2-1. Paulino getting the start, with John Baker still a bit woozy, but ready for action if needed. Baker, who took the bat off the head from Pujols, had 6 stitches on Tuesday night. Nope. It's outside.
Let's see if Ronnie gets a pitch that he can drive a little bit here on a 3-1 pitch.
It's Miller who's on deck, so Paulino may have to go out of the zone. 3-2.
Chase the slider, but sometimes you'll see a hitter do that if he's looking slider. You pick it up right away, and you know you've got it timed and everything, but then it just drops out of the zone.
Full count, 2 outs. Hermida and Ugla will be on the move. Got the slider, lines it into left. Hermida round third. Up with the ball, Stavanoa, and the Marlins have a 3-1 lead. I'm not sure Wellemeyer wanted to leave that pitch right there. I think he wanted to bury the slider like he did on the 2-strike pitch.
Absolutely. And that's what happens. You'll second guess Wellemeyer if you're a Cardinal fan. Why did he throw that pitch? Well, he didn't want to throw it there. He wanted to throw it off the plate. But he hung it, and Ronnie Paulino took advantage of it and had a good swing.
And so here is Andrew Miller, who singled back in the third. And the Marlins have given him a 2-run cushion. A little pop-up that will nestle in the glove of Green out at short. But the Fish get a run and stretch the lead to 3-1.
Baseball está disponible en español vía Zap y es presentado por KFC.
Time to say hi to Raul and Cookie. Hi, guys.
Rich, Tommy, how you
Richie.
doing today?
How are you, man?
Andrew Miller's doing pretty well as well, huh?
10 in a row, right?
Yep. He's been hot.
Settling down.
Yeah, I like the way he settled down after that first inning.
Hey, I like how you look in that George Plimpton-esque Masterpiece Theater style intro.
Professor.
Yes, yeah, very.
How many degrees do you have on that wall?
Yeah, well, none, actually.
Great.
All right,
Good
guys.
game, guys.
Have a
Great
good
job,
show.
Tommy. Great job.
Jason LaRue. And LaRue shoots one foul. LaRue, Wellemeyer, and Barden. And it's 0-1 on the Cardinal catcher, giving Yadier Molina a day off. I think around baseball it should be a standard once a week, a Molina-free day. Every Molina gets the day off. LaRue bounces out. Problem is, Benji is the cleanup hitter for the Giants, and he homered again yesterday.
That's what makes it tougher for the Giants, because their Molina is that middle of the order cleanup guy. Good play by Bonifacio, and nice efficiency by Andrew Miller. 11 straight now. He's retired, and last inning he threw just 8 pitches.
So Wellemeyer stands in. He fouls it off. Now, remember, a couple weeks ago, we wondered if the Upton brothers shared the same locker because we had back-to-back Upton series with Justin in first and then BJ with the Rays coming in.
Did we do research on this?
No, I think we failed in that miserably. But we still have time to go ask Yadier if, when the Cardinals followed the Giants in this series, if the Molinas shared a locker.
Well, we can possibly get word down to the visiting clubhouse, to Brian Greenberg, Mark Brown, Greeny or Brownie, if you're listening. Did the Uptons and did the Molinas share the same locker when their respective clubs came in? Maybe we can get that word out, maybe get an answer up here. We'll see. It only makes sense.
Well,
because you wouldn't have to transfer the name.
Of course,
just the initial.
In July, when the Pirates are here, the brothers LaRoche, obviously that's an issue because they're both here at the same time.
And then you'd put them next to each other.
I'm still hoping the Pirates are able to get a little clearer on the names on the back of the jerseys. Both were wearing A. LaRoche.
Yeah, and the box scores, it's AN for Andy and AD for Adam. I'm telling you, it's been fun watching the changeup and the way Andrew has used it since that first inning. And that kind of swing is the kind of swing you see after a good changeup, because all of a sudden that fastball is a lot swifter.
Brian Barden at the plate. He's 0 for 1. 12 straight set down by Andrew Miller. Wow.
Oh, man.
6 strikeouts now. Good live fastball. And he strikes out Barden. 13 in a row, a 9-pitch inning. And Miller is cruising. And the Fish are up 3-1.
Previous games, he's batted .263 with a .364 on base percentage. Now, even including those numbers, the Marlins as lead in a leadoff spot are .237 hitting, .288 on base. So you can see that even though Chris is very much in his learning curve here in the big leagues, he's certainly upgraded that #1 spot in the order with his numbers in somewhat of a limited sample size. When I talked to him the other day, I said, when was the last time you hit leadoff? He said as a sophomore in high school. But Rich and Tommy, so far, again, in kind of a limited sample, he does look pretty comfortable in that #1 spot.
You can see the team and Coughlin, the comparison, a .364 on base percentage.
I give you my assessment of that. I think he's just feeling comfortable, period, at hitting the major league level and adjusting to a new position in left field. And really, after that first at bat, where he does lead off the game, Jim Presley's instilled in him. Look at the rest of the at bats, just approach as if you're hitting anywhere in the lineup.
And I think if Coghlan was hitting anywhere in the lineup, I think those numbers would be pretty much the same. I think his on base percentage would be the same. His batting average would be the same. In fact, I think his batting average would be a little bit better if he wasn't in the leadoff spot, because as we saw, his first few games in that leadoff spot, he was taking a lot of pitches that normally he might jump on.
19 walks, 19 strikeouts.
Two and two. Wellemeyer out of Louisville, Kentucky. Lost his last 2 starts. To drop his record under 500 at 5-6. 2-2 to Coghlan, who was lined out twice. Up the middle, Ryan gets the out. The Yankee series starts on the 19th. It's a Fish Friday, a 7:10 start. CBS 4 for 54 pack is in play. And you can do the whole Billy Bingo thing and win a Chris Volstad autographed baseball. Marlins Yankees 1877 Marlins.
Just to give you an example, I know Chris Coghlan takes pride in the walks and strikeouts being similar. And I mentioned 19 walks, 19 strikeouts since he's joined the club.
There's a bunt. Charging is Barden. Quick throw. Safe. Pujols tried to sell the tag, and it didn't work. Bonifacio beat it. And that was even with Barden about 30 feet on the grass and charging hard. That's how fast Bonifacio is.
Yeah, you can't play this ball any better than Barden did. Cross his body, strong throw.
Wow.
Boy, that is real close. A lot closer than I thought may have had him.
I think they got him.
May have had him.
I think the Marlins got a break.
But the point I wanted to finish on Coghlan, in the minor leagues before this year, 142 walks, 137 strikeouts. So he's always done that.
Wes Helms up now. And Helms sprays one into right. Bonifacio racing to third.
Tell me you didn't love the way Wes Helms took a shot at that hole on the right side. Oh. He knows he's got that hole open, stays back, stays inside the ball, and just a perfect swing to find that hole between first and second.
Now the Marlins' hottest hitter, Jeremy Hermida, who is 6 for his last 11 with a couple of homers.
Well, the Marlins with 9 base hits already. Had 11 in the game last night, even though they were beaten.
Fastball misses inside. There's one out here in the 5th. The Marlins trying to tack on more against Todd Wellemeyer and the Cardinals. If the Marlins can win this ball game, it'll be a very nice homestand. A 7-4 homestand against some good teams. First place Brewers came in. Marlins took 3 of 4. Split 4 with the Giants.
Seeing some outstanding starting pitching from San Francisco.
And the Cardinals arrive here. The Marlins have split with the Cardinals in the first 2 of this 3-game set. Cardinals, of course, in the thick of the Central race. Tied with Cincinnati, a game and a half behind the Brewers. Hermida pulls that one foul.
Yeah, and I think you can even carry that further and talk about the pitching that the Marlins saw, especially the 3 Cy Young Award winners in that Giants series.
Chris Carpenter,
first game of this series.
So, of the 4 Cy Young starts, Zito, Lincecum, Johnson, and Carpenter, the Marlins have won 2. 2-2.
Lost to Zito, lost to Lincecum's game.
Hermida hits a little pop-up shallow center. Ankiel charging in, won't get it. Bonifacio scores easily. Helms is at second. We saw Cody Ross on a swing similar. have trouble judging it. Big swing, but not a long ball. That's a tough play for a center fielder.
Especially when you have a guy who's hit a couple of home runs in the series. Just a long way for Ankiel to come. He couldn't get there. Good base running by Helms and by Bonifacio. A good play by Ankiel to just try to keep it in front of him. But Jeremy Hermida once again produces and continues his stretch in this series. 7 for 12 in this series.
Ugla now, who is 2 for 2. The stretch of Cy Young starts continues tomorrow night with Roy Halladay going for Toronto against Ricky Nolasco, and could continue in Boston with the John Smoltz penciled in on Tuesday night.
And Halladay, of course, all of his tenure in the American League, a guy that a lot of Marlins haven't seen.
Ugla, chopper out towards short, Green to Ryan, and relay in time. Ugla's out. And so the Cardinals turn 2, but the Marlins tack on another run. All right, there were 2 bang-bang plays at first base. One went the Marlins' way. This one, he was called safe.
Yeah, you think about the bang-bang plays an umpire has to deal with.
And that's Ugla's.
Looked like Dan Ugla beat that, and he was called out. So both bang-bang, both tough for any umpire. We have to look at a replay 4 or 5 times to figure it out. There's that changeup, still extremely effective for Andrew Miller.
13 in a row for Miller, and he goes at the top of the Cardinal order here in the 6th. Brendan Ryan, Rick Ankiel, and Albert Pujols.
Another one. See, that first inning, they were so aggressive. He was trying to establish his fastball, and they jumped on a lot of fastballs.
It's a pitch he couldn't throw, Tommy, with his delivery up until this year. Once they streamlined the delivery, he can repeat the mechanics. Now he can throw that pitch.
And it's such a good pitch for him because, yes, he has that electric fastball, but he doesn't always have the sharp control of the breaking ball.
He's 0-2 on Ryan, who is at second base in this ball game.
Tried to overthrow that one a little bit. Now see if he comes back with the changeup. slider, good one.
Into that bullpen.
Remember the outstanding game? I was thinking about this with Andrew Miller pitching today. Remember that outstanding game Clayton Kershaw pitched against the Marlins? Took a no-hitter, I think, into the 7th inning. Just to show you how young left-handers can not always have it together.
Chopper, Uggla's on the scene, makes a nice play.
Clayton Kershaw last night for the Dodgers went 2 2/3 innings and threw 83 pitches. Walked 4, gave up 5 hits and 3 runs. Padres beat the Dodgers. Look at this play by Dan Uggla. Across his body, perfect throw. And the streak continues. 14 straight now retired by Andrew Miller. And another close call for Larry Vanover down there at first base.
There's Rick Ankiel. So 83 pitches in 2 2/3.
2 2/3 innings.
Plenty of time for stories from Vin Scully.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Swing and a miss. 1-1, 1 out, 6th inning. Andrew Miller has punched out 6. And the tall lefty out of Gainesville, Florida.
Working quickly, has a nice rhythm, feels comfortable out there.
The All-American out of North Carolina is where he went to school, won the Roger Clemens Award, top pitcher in college baseball. Yeah. Ankiel, 2 more hits in this game, 7 in the series. He's a guy that, as the Marlins head to Toronto and to Boston, when you open up the sports page or fire up the laptop in the morning to look at a box score, be interesting to see how Ankiel does this next week.
Watch Ankiel and watch Albert Pujols, because you know he's not going to stay down too long. But when you see a hitter, you just know he's hot when you see him hit a slider. It was a pretty good slider that well. One thing Andrew's done today, he has not thrown more than 6 pitches to any one hitter.
Gone 2-0 to Pujols. Firestone leaderboard this afternoon. RBI ratio. RBIs per at bat. The big hitters in the National League at bat per RBI. Brandon Phillips on that list.
Green light to Albert Pujols on that 3-0 pitch. He knew he'd see the fastball.
Gets into that, but pulls it and hooks it. Oh, it hits the foul pole. It's a home run. That was a rocket, and it was hooking. Albert Pujols.
Ouch. One of the hardest balls I've ever seen hit the facing of the upper deck. Look at this shot, hitting the number 62 of Jim Langer in the upper deck and then bounding back down.
You're right. I thought it clipped the foul pole from my angle, but that whacked right off the upper deck.
That didn't have a chance to hook because it was hit so hard. And for Pujols, number 19, RBIs 52 and 3, and now all of a sudden a 1-run game.
Ludwig fouls it back to the screen. Well, you knew sooner or later that Pujols was going to hit a big one or do some damage in this series. Ludwig was 1 for 2. Yeah, it's only the second home run that Andrew Miller's given up this year.
11th career home run for Pujols against the Marlins. Yeah, that long ball is what has hurt Chris Volstad this year. He's allowed 13. And wow, Andrew Miller, just 2. Nice comeback.
Strikeout number 7. Tonight, live from Amway Arena, Sun Sports bringing you post-game coverage of the NBA Finals Game 4. David Steele, Matt Gukas, Paul Kennedy provide you with the live player interviews, post-game press conferences, in-depth analysis. Lakers Magic. Magic trying to even up the series. It's presented by StopRepairBills.com. It's tonight on Sun Sports. Stabenoa takes down low. Two and 1. So a 1-run game. Miller was cruising. He retired 14 in a row before the Ankiel hit. And then Pujols with a 2-run blast. To center. Stabenoa with his second hit. Here comes Tyler Green.
Well, when you start looking at some of the numbers of Albert Pujols, the second fastest player in history to get to 300 home runs. Only guy faster, Ralph Kiner. Got to 300 home runs a little bit faster. Andrew getting a little chat from his pitching coach, Mark Wiley, out there. Pitch count's pretty good, 88 pitches, but it's a warm afternoon. There's no question about that.
So it's Green. Center field, Ross. Cody is there, but Albert Pujols leaves a mark on that upper deck. 4-3. hits and freeze it. Right by the 62 of Jim Langer, the Frostbrewed Coors Light freeze cam. And if you look up there closely, you can see the outline of the ball.
Yeah, right in here, just to the left of that line. And as they say, that'll leave a mark.
In St. Louis, that would have been up in Big Mac land. Ross Gload takes a fastball down low, so Todd Wellemeyer trying to hang in there. His ball club within a run. Gload a 2-run homer in the second. Gload's ball, though not as high as Pujols, was hit very deep and may have been a longer home run.
By the way, there's a perfect example of how you would have a hard time giving the distance on Pujols' home run, because if not for that basing in the wall up there, it would have gone another 100 feet. It was hit so hard. So that would be hard to determine. Kiko Calero getting loose, and you would think maybe we've seen the last inning from Andrew Miller. We'll see.
Gload hits another one deep to right and gone.
Ross Gload! Unload!
Another long home run by the former South Florida Bull, the Marlin draft pick. Finally a Marlin and a 2-homer day.
First multi-homer game of his career. A couple of fastballs, middle end. 7 home runs is the most that Ross has ever hit in any one season in the major leagues. But he has hit a couple of bombs here. I mean, no doubters.
So here's Cody Ross. By the way, remind me on the plane tonight that when we get to Toronto to check out the website hittrackeronline.com, because they have a list of all the home runs hit, not only with distances but also true distances. So I think they would be able to tell us how far the 2 Gload homers are, all right, and how far the Pujols homer would have been.
That's a tough one.
It's a cool site. I've been on it a couple times, and I'm on it right now. It doesn't look like they've been able to assimilate the home runs from this.
And in Toronto, they'll give it to you in meters, too.
Good breaking ball. That froze Ross. Wellemeyer gets a strikeout. A reminder that $250,000 Mustang money tickets are on sale right now. Your non-winning ticket, you can register for a second chance to win a 2010 Ford Mustang V6 convertible, ultimate Florida baseball weekend getaway, or $100 gas cards. Visit FLAlottery.com. Paulino, a high pop. That's a long run for Ludwig. And he doesn't get there, but he was headed in Frank Fort's direction. Frank?
Well, Rich and Tommy, you asked. I tried to get the answer. I checked with the visiting clubhouse manager, Brian Greenberg. Now, picture this, if you will. If you go into the clubhouse, the players start off on the left, around the room, and then the coaches over here.
Yeah.
Greeny said, well, unless they wear the same number, they wouldn't have the same locker. He just sets it up in ascending numerical order. So unless somebody makes a special request for a locker, that's the way he sets it up. So unless they would have the same number, the Uptons and the Molinas would not have the same locker, though they did tip separately.
The meticulous Brian Greenberg.
That
setting
is
up
exactly
this
right.
They should have like a Molina suite down there.
Yeah.
The Upton wing.
Is Jose Molina on the disabled list?
Hey, guys, I think there's a Molina couch, though.
I think
with the Yankees?
I think Jose is on the disabled list with the Yankees. So maybe he'll travel in.
Maybe he'll travel with the club.
Third Molina in. That would be three consecutive series in this ballpark with Molina brothers. Yeah. 2-2 the count. High pop-up. Never an easy play on a day game here.
By the way, one of the biggest hits in this game supplied by Ronnie Paulino back in the fourth inning when he got that base hit to drive in the Marlins' third run.
Andrew Miller.
So he's going to go out there and try to give Freddie one more inning. Twelve of the last 16 Marlins games have been decided by 3 runs or less. They've played some close ball games. Some wins, some losses.
Remember, before coming home, the Marlins took 2 of 3 from the Phillies in Philadelphia. The Mets took 2 of 3 from the Fish in New York. But home, and the Marlins faced that Brewer team that was in first place, beat them 3 of 4, split with the Giants.
Even those games in New York, a 2-1 loss and a 3-2 loss. Marlins won the middle game 7-3.
Wellemeyer 3 pitches shy of 100. Miller has swung the bat pretty well. Made contact all 3 times, has a base hit, and now he has an extra run thanks to another homer from Ross Gload. Top of the Cardinals. 11 hits for the Fish, 6 for the Cardinals. Couple Ross Gload homers for Florida, and Albert Pujols homer for Tony La Russa. Toyota Trend, 7 more to reach 2,500. Only 2 other managers have reached that milestone, Connie Mack and John McGraw.
That's amazing in the history of this game.
How was Tony up at the Tommy Hutton Baseball Academy? I know he was your guest the other day.
Tony on Tuesday came up, was absolutely tremendous. Had some really good things to say to the young kids about heart, how important that is into playing this game. You can have skills, but you got to have the heart to play it as well. Talk about some of his players, the hard work of Albert Pujols, the stress of education, as you mentioned the other night, La Russa being a college grad and also a law degree.
That one's hit pretty well in the left center field. And it's going to get to the wall. Jason LaRue, who was nearly killed by a sausage this year, has a double. LaRue was the guy that jogged out of the dugout in Milwaukee in the middle of the sausage race.
Unbeknownst that the race had begun.
Yeah, he had the Italian, the chorizo hot dog, nearly got him. There's Calero.
Won't take Kiko too long. Remember, he was up a little bit last inning. Skipped Schumacher. Left-handed hitter. The only right-hander, because of the lineup that Tony La Russa put out there today, the only right-hander he has available on his bench is Yadier Molina.
So in a two-run game, Miller trying to get through the seventh. Dan Meyer up now as well in the pen.
And I think it really does. We've mentioned this a few times. Without Rainiel Pinto, it limits what Freddie can maneuver down there in that bullpen with only the one left-hander. And I talked to Pinto this morning. When the ball club goes to Toronto and Boston, he's going to go on rehab assignment. He's going to pitch an inning in Clearwater for the Jupiter Club. Then he's going to go to AAA and have back-to-back outings. And if everything goes well, we'll probably be ready for that Yankees series.
One and two.
So the Marlins hope that the good Pinto returns.
They could use him. Nasty breaking ball.
Advantage right now because of all those lefties on the bench. But now Freddie is going to go to Kiko Calero. But some good pitches. Lefty versus lefty. And Andrew Miller picks up his 8th strikeout.
Andrew Miller leaving here to a nice ovation. He leads with a 5-3 lead. Our Marooney called to the bullpen.
You need a car, truck or van. Who you gonna call?
Andrew Miller leaves after 6 1/3. 8 strikeouts, 98 pitches, and he turns it over to Kiko Calero, who won't face Brian Barden, but the hulking presence of Chris Duncan.
How about the other column for Andrew Miller? No walks in his 6 1/3 to go along with those 8 strikeouts. Now he watches as Kiko Calero, who's been in a little over half of the Marlins games already, 33 of the 61 games he's appeared in, and he has to deal with the big left-handed bat of Chris Duncan.
Calero continues to lead the majors in appearances. Duncan fouls it back. Chris Duncan last night was 1 for 4 with the double and an RBI single on Tuesday night. He, of course, out of the Duncan family. His brother Shelley with the Yankees for a time, and his father the pitching coach of these Cardinals. Turns on one and pulls it foul.
And if you sneak that slider in far enough, that's about the best a hitter can do to it.
So Kiko Calero, who went to school here in South Florida, trying to pick at that outside corner.
I tell you, Kiko was very instrumental in 04. The Cardinals won over 100 games that year. Kiko Calero in 04 was 3-1 in 41 games and a nice 2.78 ERA for the St. Louis Cardinals. He was a big part of that ball club.
Spent 4 years with Oakland. Had 2 very fine years in 05 and 06. Didn't quite get the corner on that slider.
Evidently, the back door is not open right now for Charlie Relaford. That's what Kiko tried to do with that slider. Maybe just missed. Ronnie Paulino tries to just sneak it in there.
Another slider. Duncan's brother is at AAA with the Yankees, Scranton Wilkes-Barre.
Had some stints with the Yankees last year.
He's got 19 homers and 54 RBIs right now, and hitting .307. To right, Hermita's there, and he makes the catch. Let the Marlins pay your mortgage or rent payment with the Marlins Mortgage Payout. Each Super Saturday, one fan will be awarded with a check for up to $2,500 towards their mortgage or rent payment. Plus, on June 20th, a lucky fan will win a check for up to $15,000. Log on to Marlins.com and register.
You talked about those numbers of Chris Duncan's brother, Shelley. Mark Teixeira, Hideki Matsui kind of stand in his way at the big league level.
Boy, no kidding, but I mean, he's played 49 games. He's hit 19 homers and driven in 54. He's the guy that needs to go someplace and play every day.
Nice stop by Paulino.
Brendan Ryan is 0 for 3. Jason LaRue with the leadoff double. Kiko Calero trying to strand him. Wow. Calero's not real happy. And he should be.
Yeah, it's certainly, he caught it just a tad low. Even then it was borderline, but it's where it came over the plate.
Strike there. There's LaRue. Calero's slider is so good that if you know it's coming, you still might not be able to hit it.
Yeah, you can guess slider and still not pick it up well.
Let's see if Brendan Ryan gets another one. A slider fest. And he gets Ryan. Kiko Calero has had an all-star type season in middle relief for the Fish. Rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Steve Cardinals working in the world's most dangerous tape room. Getting that ready for you. 5-3 ball game. Rich Waltz, Tommy Hutton, Frank Fort. John Sulzer is our producer. Jim Hawley, our director. Ken Lee, our graphics coordinator. Our entire crew working hard on the last day of a long homestand. A couple of 4-game series and then a 3-gamer. So this is day 11. Trevor Miller out of the Cardinals bullpen takes over for Wellemeyer. Todd Wellemeyer goes 6 innings. 5 runs on 11 hits. And Brett Carroll gets the at-bat.
Yeah, he's pinch hitting for Chris Coughlin. He'll stay in and play defense. And the Cardinals have a mix of changes, as they've done a few times in this series, defensively behind Miller.
Carroll pulls it foul.
Remember, Schumacher pinch hit. So Schumacher stays in the game at second. Ryan goes over to shortstop. Green goes over to third, and Duncan moves into left.
He went around. So Carroll strikes out. He'll come into the game defensively. Bonifacio and Helms to follow. Bonifacio's lined out twice. Has a bunt base hit. One ball, one strike. Games have started around baseball. This was the first of the day. I'm sure some of you on the dish or on the internet swinging by just to check in on this one. The Marlins have a 5-3 lead over the Cardinals. This was a Todd Wellemeyer, Andrew Miller start. Miller was outstanding. Ran into some trouble when Albert Pujols nearly hit one out of the stadium, or through the stadium.
Yeah, more through than out of it.
It was a 2-run homer, but the Marlins have used a couple of home runs from Ross Gload. A 2-run shot and a solo shot, and the Fish have a 5-3 lead. Trying to take this series from the Cardinals before going out on the road up to Toronto and Boston. Gload has been a nice addition coming over from Kansas City.
And still with a 0.000 ERA.
That's true. And Keel out in center. Here comes Wes Helms. The Marlins are doing this today without Hanley Ramirez, without their best run producer, Jorge Cantu. I would expect to see Hanley back tomorrow, in all likelihood, as the designated hitter in Toronto. Would give him an extra day of taking it easy, so to speak.
And I would expect to see Ross Gload in the lineup, especially against the tough righty, Roy Halladay.
Barber's one of the Barber's a friend, too.
That's the type of start you would have had in your playing day, right? Whenever there was a nasty right-hander out there.
Tough righty. Go ahead, get your 3 or 4 ABs. But I would imagine Ross Gload has seen Roy Halladay. He has, 0 for 3. Seen him 3 times.
Helms rolls it out to second. Schumacher makes the play. A 1-2-3 inning for Trevor Miller. Time now for the Stay in the Game hold of the day, brought to you by Just for Men Hair Color. Marlin hold leaders. Leo Nunez looking to add to that total right now. As Miller relievers keep their team in the game, you too can stay in the game with Just for Men Hair Color. Well, with Brett Carroll coming into the ball game, a little bit of a shuffle of the deck in the outfield. Hermida over to left, Carroll into right,
and Leo Nunez in for the 8th. You know, when and it's so easy to see. I mean, even us non-managers can figure it out. When a pitcher gets to that 6th or 7th inning, it does make it easier for any manager, and Freddie can work his bullpen now. Calero, Nunez, if he needs to, he has Dan Meyer.
Ankiel's been a tough out. That's the changeup from Nunez. There's a lot of movement on it. Marlin's still trying to figure out how to keep Nunez's shirt tucked in. That violent delivery the other night, even Hanley had to come in and advise him to keep it tight.
Yeah, Hanley occasionally can have that untucked look.
Ankiel hits it into center field. My goodness. 3 hits for Ankiel, 8 hits in this series.
8 for 12. And I'll tell you the most amazing thing about that. Rick Ankiel came into this series 4 for 31, a 129 average, no home runs, lifetime against the Marlins. Maybe a little too much pressure on himself when he comes to South Florida. A lot of friends and family, but tell you what, he's put on a show for friends and family here this series.
Just by him getting on now, this whole situation tightens up with Pujols. Just go back to the 6th inning. That was against Andrew Miller. This is Nunez. The 8th inning belongs to Nunez. Well, he's got 3-0 now to Pujols.
We saw him with the green light his last AB. When he hit the home run, he had the green light 3-0. He fouled it off, and then it was the 3-1 pitch he hit for the home run.
Green light.
Out over the plate and caught a piece of Paulino. That's foul tip.
Pujols now with 19 homers. Dan Meyer, Marlins lone lefty. Ooh, yet another pitch to hit.
Adrian Gonzalez of the Padres continues to lead the league with 22 home runs. Raul Ibanez with 20. And Pujols is 19th. Puts him in 3rd.
Counts full. Does he dare throw one of those changeups up there?
Oh, he has confidence enough in it.
He went fastball and he misses. And now the tying run is on base here in the 8th.
A lot of times we show you the pitch by pitch and it works. Fastball, fastball, fastball. All fastballs to Pujols, and even on the 3-2 pitch, and probably a number of those overthrowing, but thinking 3-2 that Pujols would be looking for the fastball. Tried to throw it 110 miles an hour. And the Cardinals, nobody out with runners at first and second.
And if you're not careful, Ludwig can hit it out of the park too. Ludwig, the UNLV product, 37 home runs last year and 40 doubles. Coming up in the minor leagues, Ludwig crashed into a wall in 2002 and fractured his hip. And he had to have metal rods placed in his hip. They're still in there.
And when he was coming up in the minor leagues, he had a lot of power there. He just never really got that everyday opportunity. 140 career home runs just as a minor leaguer.
His older brother Eric, he and his brother growing up in Las Vegas. It's a great baseball town. They spent plenty of time at Cashman Field, home of the AAA team in Las Vegas. No doubt friends with one of the great general managers in minor league baseball, Don Logan, in Las Vegas.
Has he been there a long time?
He has. He is one of the good people in the game. One and two. In fact, if you're in Las Vegas and you need to get on a good golf course, he's the guy to call.
I'm going to write that name down.
Smack to the center field. That's a base hit. Ross got a good. Jake gets by him, and it goes to the wall. Ludwig is racing around second. Pujols is going to score. Ludwig, they will stop him at third. And this game changes just like that. Steady Cody Ross in center field, who has made diving catch after diving catch on this homestand.
We've been talking about the cut of this grass, how the ball will dance around and go in different directions. Cody tries to get down, it stays down, gets underneath, and once it got underneath him, it was a track meet for the Cardinals on the bases.
There's nobody out. The go-ahead run is 90 feet away. Single, RBI, E8. Colby Rasmus, good left-handed bat. Change up by Nunez.
Rasmus pinch hitting for the pitcher. Pitcher was inserted in this spot.
Another good change. Here's the bounce that you were talking about.
Kicks left. He's starting to go that way, and then it kicks back to the right.
Ground ball, base hit, and the Cardinals have the lead. Wow, what a change in the momentum of this ball game.
Well, the other thing, there are a couple of things to look at. Obviously, a momentum error that changed things for the Marlins and for the Cardinals. The other thing to look at, Leo Nunez has faced 4 batters. He's given up 3 hits and a walk.
Tyler Green. And you know the Cardinals would love to manufacture another run out of this inning. Rasmus over at first. He had a big night last night with a 3-run homer and has now hit in 9 straight.
This is one of the topics, obviously, it's been over the last month or so with Leo Nunez in the 8th. Matt Lindstrom closing games. And one of the thoughts on that whole situation is if you were to put Nunez in the 9th inning. And there are times I wouldn't be opposed to that. But if you did, and he struggled in the 9th inning, now you have 2 guys struggling. You have Lindstrom struggling in the 9th, or possibly 8th, Nunez struggling. So keep it the way it is what Freddie's decided to do. Keep the confidence in Nunez, who's not having a good outing here, but for the most part has had good 8th innings, and build on that and hope Lindstrom comes around and does the job at the end of the game.
Jason LaRue. Haven't seen the Cardinals hit and run yet in this series. Pitcher spot is up next, or excuse me, Schumacher is up next. That was the original pitcher spot, 8 in the order. We've got Meyer ready, the lefty in the bullpen.
Well, the Marlins thinking hit and run.
One ball, one strike. And the whole situation changes for the Cardinals bullpen.
Well, the crowd has just gone the gamut with emotions as well.
19,000 for this ball game.
The 24th pitch coming up for Leo Nunez just in this inning.
That one sends LaRue to his backside.
All over the place with his fastball today. Slinging it up there and not sure where it's going to go. Good limbo move by Jason LaRue.
Counts 2-2. And Nunez is approaching 30 pitches.
Boy, and you know who feels the absolute worst right now is Cody Ross out there in center field.
Ross will get his shot at redemption into center field, but as you pointed out, Leo Nunez has recorded only 1 out here. He's given up 4 hits, a walk, and here comes Freddie out to get Nunez. So the 8th inning does not belong to Nunez. Meyer comes out of the pen. Cardinals have the lead, 6-5. Our Marooney called to the pen.
When you need a car, truck or van, who you gonna call?
Just 2 minutes south of Aventura Mall. 1-866-7 My Audi today. A nice start by Andrew Miller, wasted. No chance to get the win now. He was in line to pick up his 3rd win.
Boy, 6 1/3 innings, 8 strikeouts, and no walks for Andrew Miller.
Nunez leaves after getting 1 out, giving up 4 hits and a walk. And it's Meyer who gets Schumacher. And the Cardinals, with 1 out, have runners first and second.
Yeah, back-to-back lefties, Schumacher and then Duncan.
Chopper towards first, fair ball. Gload has it, and he steps on the bag. Everybody moves up. Rasmus and LaRue.
Number 16, left-hander Chris Duncan.
So Chris Duncan. Remember, the Marlins do have a couple big bats sitting out in Hanley Ramirez, Jorge Cantu. Not sure of Cantu's status with his dizziness, but I would expect he'd be able to give Freddie an AB, and John Baker is available.
Yeah, I would certainly expect to see Hanley Ramirez in the next inning or two.
Bermuda Ugla Gload scheduled, and Meyer gets a pop into left center field. Over for it is Ross. He makes the catch, but the Cardinals rally. 4 hits, a big error, and a 1-run lead. And Tommy, every now and then we come across a picture or a clip of film that we want to share with you. This is from long ago. The woman on the left is our own Nancy Olson. She was the athletic director at FIU. That's Fox Sports' Chris Myers. And there is Frank Ford. This was a media versus a women's basketball event.
Where did you dig that up?
Well, the archives, Frank. Was there anybody else in that photo of note other than you, Chris, and Nancy? Did we miss anyone?
You know what? I'd have to go back and look at it. It's tough to see in the sun out here. Off the top of my head, I don't really think so. I'm probably leaving somebody out. No, can't really say that. No, I can't really say I can recognize a whole lot of folks in that other than myself and Chris.
What kind of jump shot did you hit? Did you guys win the game?
You know what? That had to be a good 20-plus years ago. I'm not even sure. I doubt it, though. They had a pretty good basketball team back then. Cindy Russo was the coach back then. She did a great job, and they had some pretty good teams.
All right, the focus on baseball now as Reyes comes out of the bullpen for the Cardinals, and he gets Hermida to start things.
Well, Reyes gets Hermida, then Dan Uggla, then another lefty, and Ross Gload.
The luxury of having a couple lefties in your bullpen as Miller came out. He pitched the seventh. Joe Thurston is in the ball game, and he's at second. He's been gone from the club for a couple days.
So he bats in the number 5 spot. Chris Duncan's out of the game now, so another double switch by La Russa.
Check swing did not go. So this Schumacher back out in left.
Schumacher's in left.
He's gone from left to second, back to left, right?
And Thurston's the third different player to occupy second base.
Struck him out, breaking ball. Hermida wasn't sure it came far enough.
I think Jeremy thought it stayed inside. And it probably caught the plate.
Tony La Russa comes out, and he'll get the baseball from Reyes. A right-hander summoned to face Uggla. 6-5. Cardinals win it. Here's Armaruni. Called to the pen.
When you need a car, truck, or van.
A big part of the Cardinals' 3-run eighth. And Tony La Russa has summoned his closer, Ryan Franklin, with one out here in the eighth.
He's going to try to get 5 outs out of Franklin, who's had a nice year, 13 out of 14. Mostly fastballs and sliders. He'll mix in a few other things. A little deceptive with his delivery. Kind of jumps at you.
Oh, hits a high pop-up. Ryan Schumacher. It's interesting how La Russa is sort of the father of the modern bullpen, many people feel. It was in Oakland when he really used that 8th inning guy, and Dennis Eckersley is the 9th inning guy. Rick Honeycutt was kind of the 8th inning guy. That's when all of a sudden bullpen roles got defined. Well, here is La Russa not working with an 8th inning guy and a 9th inning guy, asking his closer to get 5 outs. And for Franklin, who's new to the role, this is not it's not something out of his comfort zone. He's been a starter, a long reliever.
Yeah, to get more than 3 outs, not different for him. Facing Ross Gload, who's had a career day. First time he's ever homered twice in a game. In case you're wondering, the last Marlin to homer 3 times in a game was Cody Ross back in September of '06.
2-0 pitches, a strike. It's 2-1. The second inning was a 2-run shot. And a solo shot in the 6th. Both coming off of Todd Wellemeyer.
And 2 shots well over 400 feet.
Count 2-2. Gload going after that slider. 2-2. Franklin has added the. I mean, that's not even a. What is that? A super goatee. What do you call that? Into center field, a base hit. Ross Gload, 3 hits.
How about that swing? He just reached out, had 2 strikes. That's his emergency 2-strike swing. Watch this. Good pitch. Sinker away. Look at that. And he gets his 3rd hit of the day.
So here's Cody now. Sanchez and Lindstrom.
You know, the 3 runs charged to Nunez, all earned runs.
Franklin trying to get the corner. Three home runs on this homestand for Cody. 1 for 3 day. One.
In this game, you have to just forget about what has happened and just focus on your at bat right now against Ryan Franklin.
He went.
I think he realized he went. He was checking with Charlie Relaford, the home plate umpire, if that ball was in the strike zone, though.
1-2. Fastball lined into right field, base hit. Gload around second. He'll stop there. And Cody Ross has delivered a hit. And it's Paulino who comes to the plate.
Cody's 2nd hit of the day, stays on that fastball. Franklin got it up a little bit, and Cody, who singled back in the 2nd inning, gets another one there. Well, this good bit of hitting.
This certainly tells us the status of John Baker. Not necessarily as a pinch hitter, but as a defensive player, because you would normally see Baker hit here and go in and catch.
So this kind of answers that question. Yeah, could Baker go and pinch hit? Yes, but could he stay in the game and catch?
Right. Well, I think as a manager, too, you have to ask yourself, say Baker does pinch hit, and say the Marlins tie this game and it goes into extra innings.
Yeah, how many games or how many innings would he have to catch?
Well, Franklin's out in front 0-2. That answers our question about Cantu.
We got Hanley lurking in the background as well.
But Franklin up 0-2 on Paulino, who lines it into center field. Sliding catch in center. Ankiel saves the day for the Cardinals. Wow. Paulino hit it on the nose. Still 6-5. On to Toronto. Rogers Center, a very good Blue Jays team. Marlins will see them for 3 over the weekend. Then it's Fenway Park. The Marlins and the Red Sox. A possible John Smoltz start. And some familiar faces with Beckett and Lowell and the gang. So it's a week in the American League East. 6-5. There's a look at Baker, who still has the stitches in his head after getting popped in the first game of this series from Albert Pujols. But you couldn't ask for anything more from Ronnie Paulino that last at bat as Sanchez drops in a breaking ball for a strike.
Boy, Ronnie stung that ball, sinking line drive. Rick Ankiel has had quite a series and quite a day. 3 hits today and 2 spectacular catches. Remember how he robbed Cody Ross back in the 4th inning. Well, there's the ball in the 4th inning that Cody hit. Great play by Ankiel. And then Ronnie Paulino thought he tied the game, and Ankiel came in with a diving catch. He has put on quite a show.
Port St. Lucie. The man who's made the transition from pitcher to outfielder. And you got to think that the ceiling on Ankiel has yet to be reached in terms of being a position player.
Yeah, a little bit of a late start.
He had that
29 years old.
Yeah, but he had the knee injury, which knocked him out for an entire season in his comeback or his development as a position player. So he's a young 29. Outside corner, Ryan goes down. And we check in with Frank Ford. Frank?
All right, guys, thanks very much. You know, the Marlins not only have been hit by injuries this year, but their minor league team as well in New Orleans. And now, just an update for you, Gabby Sanchez, who had that knee injury, is back in the lineup. He's hit in all 4 games that he's been back, 1 hit in each game. But the real interesting thing, guys, is he's playing third base now, which is the position he played at the University of Miami. So you can kind of draw up some scenarios if he hits enough down there, what might happen if he is called up. But they're getting him ready to play a little third base as well, in addition to first. Rich?
Versatility always helps.
Well, good that Gabby Sanchez is back playing. He had gotten off to a terrific start in AAA.
Ankiel misses on that fastball. It's 1-1.
Yeah, we've talked about Ankiel, 8 for 12 in this series. 3 singles today, and he scored 3 runs.
Fouls it back. I think one of the things that is surprising about watching Ankiel in this series is his outfield play has improved. And Tommy, you just talked about the 2 catches that he's made. That's strike 3 call.
How about Brian Sanchez coming in, getting 2 strikeouts? Ryan and Ankiel, 2 hot hitters with perfect pitches. Fastball in. Target is there. Perfect. Little movement, brought it back, caught the inside corner.
Well, the 3-run rally in the 8th, aided by the Ross error, the meltdown by Leo Nunez hurt. But remember, it was a 2-run homer by Pujols that started the Cardinals on their way back. That was in the 6th. High pop. Bonifacio, Hermida makes the catch. Marlins down to their last 3 outs, down a run. Bottom of the 9th is coming up. Top, we go to the bottom of the 9th. Tonight, live from Amway Arena, Sun Sports bringing you post-game coverage. Game 4 of the NBA Finals. David Steele, Matt Kukas, Paul Kennedy. And it's all brought to you by StopRepairBills.com. It's on Sun Sports immediately following Game 4. Well, Ryan Franklin, the closer for the Cardinals, came in to get a couple of outs in the 8th. He did give up 2 hits and that hard line drive out off the bat of Paulino. And he's trying to get the final 3 outs here in the 9th. Hanley Ramirez will pinch hit and lead it off. The Marlins also have Jorge Cantu and John Baker at their disposal as well.
Hanley just 1 pinch hit appearance this year, 0 for 1.
Fastball fouled back. And it's 0-1. Brett Carroll, Emilio Bonifacio are scheduled behind Hanley.
Yeah, you make moves and you hope they hold up. Every once in a while they come back and haunt you. Freddie's made the move defense for Brett Carroll a lot of times to get Chris Coghlan out of the game. And unfortunately, with the circumstances the way they are, Brett Carroll's on deck and not Chris Coghlan. But we know that Brett, the way he's swinging the bat, he can hit one out on 1 pitch.
See Cantu lurking in the wings. Franklin has blown just 1 save this year. It's out. It's 2-1. Spiro, Oklahoma, home of Ryan Franklin. Got inside on Hanley.
And some sliders away, and then he ran that 2-seamer in on that fist.
He can dial it up to the mid-90s when needed. This is his 3rd year with the Cardinals. Count's full now, 3-2.
There's that 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
Three-two coming. Struck him out. Hanley trying to tie it up with 1 swing. Here comes Cantu.
Jorge Cantu pinch hitting for Brett Carroll.
Cody Ross still seething over the error. Certainly a part of the meltdown in the 8th inning. Good numbers on this matchup.
Yeah, you saw that first pitch. He'll use a slider, but there was a curve. He started Jorge off with the curveball.
Cantu left field. That ball's hit well. That ball's deep. It's off the wall. Cantu around first. Boy, he came about 10 feet away from tying this game.
Boy, if not for that high wall out in left center field, it is a 6-6 tie. But Jorge Cantu takes care of one. Just didn't launch it high enough, but had a good swing. Just look at the clock, just a little right of the clock, a little bit below. And he gets a 1-out double.
De Aza pinch runs for Cantu.
So 5 for 8 now in his career against Ryan Franklin.
And it's Bonifacio who comes up with Helms on deck. Breaking ball for a strike.
Bonifacio with a couple of big hits, 3 RBIs, a career high 3 RBIs in the first game of this series. Marlins winning 4-3.
There's Diaz. Bonifacio has a bunt single. And he pops it into shallow center. Ankiel's out there. And there's 2 outs. Here comes Helms.
And each manager, Rich, has used everyone. Each manager with just 1 man left on his bench. For Tony La Russa, it's his catcher, Yadier Molina. And for Freddie Gonzalez, it's John Baker.
And we're still not sure as to the availability of Baker. And I'd suspect even after that at bat, with Bonifacio hitting, a spot where you might use Baker, that Baker is unavailable still.
Well, I saw him in the clubhouse today, and the eye is swollen pretty good below the eye. It's a pretty good swelling.
So it's Helms against Franklin, who misses up. 1-0. Hermida on deck. Helms is 1 for 4. That's out.
Brendan Ryan, the shortstop, 3 or 4 steps back on the grass. And then if you move over to first base, Albert Pujols is well off the line and deep. So the entire infield is deep. They're just trying to knock the ball down. Anything hit on the ground.
Oh, it's a strike. Well, you miss the target by that much. It's not often you get that call.
Yeah, that's a fortunate call for the Cardinals. He was set up outside, reached all the way inside, and they got the call.
Especially on 2-0. 2 down in the 9th. Franklin. Helms fights it off. Now it's 2-2.
I'll give you a good pitch. Take a big ball. Come on.
Two coming. Popped him up. Is it playable? Pujols over to the wall. He reaches in and makes the catch. And the Cardinals come from behind and beat the Marlins. Ryan Franklin gets the save. He needs 5 outs to do it. And the Marlins have an opportunity slip through their fingers. The Port St. Lucie native, Rick Ankiel, has a super series and a big day in this one.